There was a time when giants walked the earth, and when VTubers weren't popular because video games had women with big tits in them. They had big tits and pretty faces, and everyone was like, why would we ever watch VTubers when we have the sexy night elf waifu? But those times are long gone. And, for those of us who actually remember those times before the HR ladies managed to take over and create entertainment for them rather than the customer, we can also remember that there were so many titles coming out, right? Because the industry was booming. It was making a lot of money, and there were many companies. Usually you would have like 20, maybe 30 titles coming up in a year. I mean, that was huge, right? So you would actually enjoy watching these events, like IGN. It had like a fundamental understanding of what customers want, of what gamers are. They understood that there is a huge difference between teenagers and the HR lady, and what the HR lady wants is the financial ruin of the company. But yeah, those were the days. And you'd actually watch these presentations, and they would actually tell you, all right, so we looked at all the games that came out this year, and these are the titles that we would recommend. Nowadays, we can already eliminate more than half of the titles because they don't even work on launch. You have the company apologizing. It's like, oh, we're so sorry. We're so sorry. I know that you bought the deluxe edition for our game, and we promise that if you pay us $120, you can play the game 3 days early. But alas, it's not functioning properly. So you're going to have to wait with everyone else and play it on day one. No, we're not going to give you refunds, Jesus Christ. So we already have to eliminate those games, right? And then you have like maybe 500 or 600 titles that are working. Like, you don't need to watch someone else to tell you which is the best game, because out of 5 or 6 titles, you already played them all, so you would know for yourself which is the best game. Back in the day, it was like, all right, there's like 30 games coming out. You don't have money to buy all of them. So in case you missed a good game, then you would watch IGN and you would see the presentation and you would see what they have to say. But now IGN has like 2 viewers. And probably one of the viewers themselves watching. So no one cares, right? Which is funny because they're involved into a controversy, which I find very interesting. And so far, everyone is confirming it as well. They were doing what is the game of the year, right? So that they can do it for an award. And apparently, for 90% of the time, it was at the number 1 spot. And then it mysteriously dropped off. So, like, IGN, can we stop the steal, please? Can we please stop the steal? Like, what are you using to count? Are you using some Dominion machine or something, huh? Is the IGN headquarters in Maricopa? Did your poll watchers get sleepy weepy? Are you tired from counting, IGN? Are you really sleepy now? So you have to go to bed. And when you got back, it's like, oh, look, with other games. They just mysteriously took over Black Myth. We got some mail-in ballots in the last minute. It's what woke us up, right? Because up until then, we were sleepy weepy, some water pipe broke, but we heard the car with the votes, not a single vote for Black Wukong. Because I heard that the Chinese have told their fans not to vote on American social media. So this explains it. This explains it why like not a single vote was for Wukong. All jokes aside though, it is painfully obvious for any moron with a brain that IGN is a biased source. They're not just reporting on the gaming industry. They care about it. They have a stake in it. It's ideological. It's probably financial. I don't know. But the way they're treating video games like Stellar Blade, like Wukong, and the way they're treating other games like Dustborn and Concord, it is painfully obvious for anyone with a brain to notice that, yeah, they're deeply involved into the gaming industry. Like, you can't tell me that you as a journalist can have the balls to come into my computer screen after you try to push Concord in my face. Fuck is wrong with you? So, why are they doing this? Well, this is part of the grand ethos of the game journalist. It's why a lot of people dislike game journalists. They get to believe that they decide, or they should be able to decide, which games are successful and which games should fail. And this is exactly the reason that they have these talking points about YouTubers, which are their direct competition. This is why they hate content creators like Asmongold. Because people watch Asmongold now, they don't watch IGN. And they say, well, it's because, you need to understand, the gaming industry right now, it's perfect. It has never been better. It's absolutely flawless. And if it wasn't for people like Asmongold and myself, everyone would just buy Concord. Like, Concord would have had record numbers if it wasn't for people like myself shit-talking it. So they're basically suggesting that we are puppeteering our audience, that we are in control of you guys, and we can't tell you to back us on Subscribestar or click that subscribe button, right? Like, we can't use our power for that, but what we do use it is to tell you guys, hey, don't buy Concord. So, the reason the journalists think this is because this is literally what they are trying to do. They are actively thinking that, okay, it's up to us to promote the games we want and to suppress the ones that we don't want. And I don't know if it's financial. I genuinely don't know. Like, it is possible that money is exchanging hands. I don't know if it's nepotism. Like, maybe some of the people that work at these game development companies, like in HR and stuff, like, maybe they were colleagues in university with some of the people that work at IGN. I don't fucking know. Maybe it's ideological, like a religion. You know, like, they believe that they have been anointed by divinity to protect minorities everywhere, and the only way to do it is through becoming game journalists and promoting more diversity in gaming. So it's their mission on Earth, right? So they find someone else, like, as a brother in faith. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's just simply the fact that this is how the industry works. Like, they need to suck it up to these AAA companies if they want to get early reviews, if they want to get early access. I can't say what it is what, but it is painfully obvious, yet again, that they go out of their way to suppress some games and to promote others. And it's really interesting because they talk about diversity, right? And when you have a game that's made in China, so not a single white person, as far as I know, has been involved with the project, they're not promoting it. Oh no, that's bad, it's evil, icky, China, ew. Like, just so you can understand the argument that they've been making, is the fact that, oh yes, like, Wukong, yeah, it's got like a huge player spike on Steam, and a lot of people are playing it, but most of them are Chinese. And I'm looking at this, you know, this is an anti-racist saying this shit. Like, this is a person that has the balls to come onto my computer screen and to lecture me about racism. And they're like, wait, China? So? And? I mean, just so you know, Westerners were very good at making popular games in China. Blizzard is an example. Like, World of Warcraft was a huge phenomenon in China back in the day. StarCraft, massive phenomenon in South Korea. So, like, can we stop with the cope? Like, if Concord was a good game, I guarantee to you it would have been popular in China as well. But you guys are supporting companies that are incapable of producing good games. They used to, but they can't anymore. They're not even the little engine that could. They're the little engine that couldn't. So, this is why they're upset. And they're basically already deciding which games they're going to back and which games they aren't. And you can tell this by reading their articles. And it's kind of like the games you're allowed to praise and the games you're not allowed to praise. So, for instance, you're not allowed to praise Stellar Blade, right? You're not allowed to praise Nikke. But you're supposed to worship Baldur's Gate 3. And you're supposed to worship Elden Ring to the point where if you say, you know what, I actually don't like Elden Ring. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I personally don't like. They freak the fuck out. They freak the fuck out if you say that. Say, what is wrong with you? Like, there used to be a time when people had preferences, and like someone would come up to you and they would say, well, I don't like Need for Speed. And you'd be like, okay, you know, that's it. No, if you actually go to some of these people and you say you don't like Elden Ring, they freak the fuck out. Like, what is wrong with you? How can you not like it? It is perfection. It's like, well, no, I just don't like the genre. I played it, I finished it. It's okay, but I can't say it's as good as Mass Effect. I'm not having as much fun over it as I had playing World of Warcraft. You know? No, you're wrong. Jesus, fuck. Right? But at the same time, if you say that Stellar Blade is awesome, you disgusting, come near you. Why can't you watch furry stuff like normal people? It's like, okay. These are the individuals that are on the other side of the aisle. What else can I say? Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.